The next phase of the game is keeper phase. As you can see, the center gate is at 2. Dynamo just rolled a 4. So Dynamo then moves his pawn into the center, and keeper phase begins. During this phase, the center gate is attached to this gatekeeper's health. So if the center is at 20, the person who owns the center is at 20. At the beginning of keeper phase, all gates go to max HP. And at the end of a keeper phase, the gates will go back to 6. Anytime the gates are destroyed, they will always go back to 6. And the center will go to 10. In the event that a player reaches a status that would get them center gate, such as me hitting 30 health, instead of capturing the center during keeper phase, I capture another out of gate. So here, I would choose to capture red. There is no battle, I just get to keep the gate. During keeper phase, the keeper has to survive 3 rounds of attacks. So this means that I would get to have 3 turns in which I am trying to destroy the center gate, which would subsequently kill the gatekeeper. Assuming that the player in the center survives all 3 of those rounds, they would then get to win the game. But don't forget, at the beginning of every turn, you must roll for your trade. If you roll a 6, you would lose your turn. So be careful, because even when the game is over, it may not be over. When the center gate is destroyed, bringing the center to 0, the person in the center is now dead. So all the gates will then be reset, and rather than capturing the center gate myself, instead I only capture the gates that the opponent, who was just gatekeeper, had. So in the scenario in which another person becomes gatekeeper after there already was one, rather than having to survive 3 turns, I only have to survive 2. So little Jim Bob over here in the realm of Harkin has to defeat me in 2 turns instead of 3. In the event in which I am defeated in 2 turns, and I am now dead, and Jim Bob takes the center, well, then Jim Bob only has to survive 1 turn. Every player in which, after the second and first gatekeeper that captures the center, will only have to survive 1 rotation to win the game. Remember, when you become gatekeeper, instead of using your trade card, you will use the new gatekeeper trade card. Immediately after your turn, the player to your right, so if Dynamo is gatekeeper, the player to their right would immediately start their turn. That means you don't get to use any of the bonuses that you may have just received, and you don't get to gain health or do anything else on your turn that you might want to do.